ప్రస్తుతం సంజయ్ విజయ్ కుమార్ మనతో ఉన్నారు. ఆయన అడిగి కంపెనీ విశేషాలను, ఒప్పందం విశేషాలను మరింత తెలుసుకునే ప్రయత్నం చేద్దాం. వెల్కమ్ టు సంజయ్ విజయ్ కుమార్. At the student level, everybody is concentrating on studies. Then why did you take up this entrepreneurship journey?
See, when I was in college, I had my first access to internet when I was in third year in college. And that totally changed my life. More than the four walls of a classroom and a syllabus, I could learn what is happening in Silicon Valley, what's happening around the world. And with that changed information, I realized that more than the knowledge that I could gain from a degree, the real world can teach me. And internet can be my guide. So that is how we started MobMe when we were in college. And we were extremely lucky to have people like Chris Gopalakrishnan, who are founders of Infosys, to come and sit with us and explain how Infosys started in a small flat in Pune by 7 people from a middle class family. So when I got inspired by meeting people like Chris at a very young age, and I could build my company over the next 6 years to employ more than 100 people, to have more than 100 crore market cap. The one most important thing that I realized was it was not about me. It was not about a small company called MobMe. It was about how a lot of people came together to help an entrepreneur build the business. So every entrepreneur, I believe, has to live like a nomad, work like a bull. But more than the entrepreneur himself, the people around him define whether he can be successful or not.
When you started MobMe, when it was a small company, right now it is one of the biggest in emerging IT companies. When you recollect those memories, how do you feel that?
See, starting off was very difficult because more than the technology challenges, it is actually fighting off the society. People want to know why you are not taking up a very comfortable job. People want to know why when you have a comfortable job, and all your friends are working, you are trying to create something new. And, is it that, why are you like staying back in Kerala and trying to do this? Why can't you go outside to other locations? So the challenge is more, from a society perspective. Now, when I look back at life, there is only one life, okay? And, we can't live our life based on what other people want us to be. We look at internally what we want to do as individuals. And then with the whole advent of internet, with the knowledge that what's happening around the world, if young people in Silicon Valley can start companies like Apple and Microsoft, which today change the world, which influence all our lives, why can't young students in India start companies which change the whole world again? So these were thoughts which went with me when I was in college, and then we rode the wave.
Your own company by your passion, MobMe. Then why? What leads to you start a startup village?
The beginning of the 18th century, India was 23% of the world economy. And we were continuously, looted by many people. We were continuously under the whites. We've been under, so many external people for so many years and hundreds of years that we've completely underestimated our own abilities. I believe very strongly that, today the youth in this nation are on the same starting line. In the 18th century, when the world was going through industrial revolution, we were fighting our first, revolt of independence. In the 1940s, after World War II, Green Revolution was happening around the world. In the 1940s, we just got independent as a country. In the 1970s, computer is born. Silicon Valley is starting to take shape in the US. In 1970s, we are fighting a war with Pakistan. In 2005 to 7, it's a wonderful period in the world history. Everything that we use now, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, all these companies were started in 2005, 2007. These became, $100 billion companies. In 2005 and 7, I was seeing my first Nokia 3310, a simple monochrome screen. So people in the US were building billion-dollar companies. We are for the first time seeing a small mobile phone. In 2014, I'm so excited because when a smartphone is happening in the US, that same revolution is happening in India. So after 200, 300 years, this generation of youth has come to the same starting point. Till now, we used to always play catch-up to the rest of the world. I believe the opportunity is now for young kids in India to build, break and innovate. And when you are young, when you are between 16 to 24, there is no risk. The worst that will happen is you fail, which is good because now you can go for a higher studies or an MBA and you are going with experience. The opportunity to create something like Startup Village is right now because along with me, everybody needs this. So because we were helped by so many people, we also felt a need to give back to the society.
The startup villages, these type of initiatives, how far it will be accelerate their dream or desire or something?
We are going to schools and colleges and telling young students at 14 years of age that they have a different choice in life. Today the only choice in life is to take a job. We are going and telling them, saying there is one more choice in life, you can start your own company. And only when you give him that choice will people feel that maybe I should take a risk. And today CM was saying, we want you to take risk, we want you to fail, and we want you to persevere till you succeed. And if you don't give up, if you continuously persevere, and if you have a person like Chandrababu Naidu backing you, then there is no way you can fail. I believe that the time has come for young people to take up this challenge on their own. I believe the time has come for young people to give back to the nation. It is time that we attracted a lot of people who've gone outside India to come back and build a world-class system back at home.
You have signed an MOU with the Andhra Pradesh government. What actually what you are expecting on both sides?
Startup Village is a very unique project in the sense that it's a public-private partnership. So the role of the government is to create the right policy frameworks and the right infrastructure. So creating world-class building, creating high-speed connectivity like 2 Gbps of internet connectivity, getting the student entrepreneurship policy and actually implementing that policy on the ground. These are the responsibilities of the state government. The role of MOPME is to set up Startup Village, create the team, and then roll out various programs. So after you roll out your GO or a government order, then there needs to be so much effort on a ground level. So our efforts start from 8th standard in school when a small student is 14 years of age. We have what is called a Raspberry Pi program. It's a small computer board which will allow you to learn how to code. If you want to build the next Google, you need to learn very young how to learn to code. Then the 4 years we teach him on a technology side and basics of why you should start your own company. When he gets into engineering, then he gets a student entrepreneurship policy where you get 20% attendance and 5% grace marks every semester for creating a startup. And as part of your engineering subjects, you have to do a final year project. When Startup Village comes, you get marks and attendance for creating a startup, and your final year project can become a startup from year 1. So for the next 4 years, we give him all the facilities to create a startup. And then once he passes out of engineering, we give him the first angel fund and seed fund, help him find mentors, help him find markets, and then create a business model. Then we take him to Silicon Valley. The biggest challenges in running a startup are not intelligent challenges. It is not testing your intelligence. It is going to test your courage. So the biggest decision, it's like going for a war.
It's that we have a lot of talent and lot of caliber in our students. But the thing is, the capability was destroyed at the incubation level. Where is the problem actually?
The problem is the complete ecosystem has to be built. See, in the internet era, you are not competing with a company in Hyderabad or Bangalore. You are competing with a company that is sitting in Silicon Valley, that is sitting anywhere in the world. That Mark Zuckerberg and you have the same number of neurons in your brain. Unless you go to Silicon Valley and see it for yourself, you will not believe it. And then when you see the founders in Silicon Valley have the same amount of challenges, then you realize I can sit back at home in Visakhapatnam and then I can build a world-class company.
You know that United Andhra Pradesh witnessed the rapid growth of IT sector. The new state of Andhra Pradesh, how do you see in the opportunities here?
I'm very excited actually to see what Andhra Pradesh has done in the last 100 days. Because it's just been 100 days, but Andhra Pradesh is working like a classic startup, speed. In the first 100 days, the policy has been very clearly laid out. The Andhra Pradesh government has brought out the IT policy, the electronics policy, and more importantly, the startup policy. There are 27 points outlined in the startup policy, which is the best in this country. No other state comes anywhere close to what Andhra Pradesh has done in terms of policy making. And I strongly believe this model of the policy will be replicated by many other states very fast. Given along with in the bureaucratic team, then you have a person like Chandrababu Naidu who's built a complete Hyderabad from scratch. So this dynamic combination has now, I believe, is the best combination the country has to see. In the next 3 years, the face of new Andhra Pradesh will change.
Prime Minister called on the Digital India slogan. How distinct we are?
See, in fact, when I was sitting with Chandrababu Naidu, sir, he was telling me, when government of India makes a policy or a theme like Digital India, it can actually be implemented only in a state. Because government of India doesn't do anything on its own. The implementation is all done at a state level. So Andhra Pradesh has the biggest opportunity to create a digital state where everybody has Aadhaar, everybody has bank accounts, everybody has a digital identity, a digital signature, everybody has a smartphone, everybody has high speed internet in that smartphone, then you can create wonders, because people have now access to knowledge, people have now access to banking, people have now access to various different government services online. You don't need to physically go to a government office to get some work done. Modi is doing is to inspire the youth. So then both citizens are digital, government is digital. Once that digital framework is laid out, then you can build hundreds of applications on top of that.
ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్ ప్రభుత్వంతో కుదుర్చుకున్న ఒప్పందం ద్వారా ఎంతోమంది ఔత్సాహిక పారిశ్రామికవేత్తలకు విద్యార్థులను తమ స్టార్టప్ విలేజ్ ద్వారా ప్రోత్సహిస్తామని ఆయన చెప్తున్నారు. విశాఖపట్నం నుంచి కెమెరామెన్ సిహెచ్ శ్రీనివాస్తో నాగేశ్వరరావు, ఈటీవీ న్యూస్.